Hey guys, it's Tucker Singer from S&S Smithing. Let's get talking about our plant hanger and how far we are. Alright, ladies and germs, this is part 2 of our 3-part video for building the Hart Fishtail plant hanger. In part 1, we made the hanging hook and the tenon. So, we're not really going to do anything with that in this video, but this video, we're going to be making the backing plate here with the heart and the fishtail and the ball peen hammer finish on it. We're going to be making it out of 1.5 by 1/4 inch flat bar. We're going to make a 2-inch slit on one end of it. You can do it with a chisel or an angle grinder, whichever you prefer. They'll do different finishes. A chisel will leave it kind of almost like a bevel on the inside of it, but the angle grinder will kind of leave it like this because that's what I'm going to use. And then we're going to take 1/4 inch drill bit and we're going to drill 3 1/4 inch holes in this, 1 for the tenon and then 2 for mounting it. And on the end of it, we're going to forge out this fishtail. And what we're going to do, how we're going to do that, is we're going to start to draw this out and properly and start forming one of those fish lips. Alright, and once it starts forming nice, we'll go ahead and you can probably tell right here is we'll put a bevel on it, and that'll help draw it out in each direction and make almost like a dog bone or fishtail look. So let's get started on it. And guys, please let me know what you think about these couple part videos for a little bit larger projects than we've usually been doing. So if you like it, let me know. If you're not a fan of it and would rather have a long video instead of like 2 or 3 normal size videos, please let me know in the comments. This is all about what you guys like. Alright, let's get started. Alright guys, that's our 7.5 or 7-inch piece of 1.5 by 1/4 inch flat stock. Next thing we're going to do is cut a 2-inch slit down the middle with the angle grinder. Now you can use a chisel, a bandsaw, you could use an angle grinder to cut it. You could even use a hacksaw to cut that. I'm using these tools because for me right now they're the fastest and most accurate way I have of cutting them at the moment. So that's what I'm going to be doing for my convenience and yours, because it'll shorten up the video by a lot. Now you can use other things to do that. You don't have to use the chop saw or an angle grinder to cut this. You can do it traditional ways and other ways to do all that. Alright? But anyway, we're going to get that marked up from... now for laying out the center here, we're going to be going 3/4 of an inch in. Alright, and then going 2 inches down. There we go. Now that we got it all laid out with some soapstone, we'll get a cut. Alright, quick overview on the angle grinder. I use these DeWalt wheels, these cutoff wheels. I find they're built pretty well. They don't really break apart as much as some cheap ones that you can get. I wouldn't suggest going out and buying the cheapest wheels you can find. They kind of explode and break really easy and wear out real fast. These ones, they're not really expensive, but they're nice wheels. They last a good while if you use them the right way. and they're rather durable. Now, a couple tips real quick with a grinder. You want to make sure you get the right wheel size and the right RPMs for the discs you get. So that way you don't end up hurting yourself or anyone else in the process of cutting with it. Alright, let's get started cutting. Yet again, I suggest using all the same safety equipment you use with a chop saw. Let's get working on this now. Oh, I forgot to plug it in. Now, a couple real quick things on what we're going to do for forging the heart. Now that we got our slit in there, next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a convenience bend. Which means we take one of the tines and we will bend it 90 degrees so it's out of our way. And then we can work on the one and draw it out, and then flip it over and draw out the other one to where we need it. Alright, so let's get working on it. I'll pick one of the sides. Bend it down and out of our way. Maybe should have got a little better heat on it. Yeah, the gas forge takes a while to get up to temperature after you first light it, you know. We got our convenience bend most of the way done, but you see what I mean, we're just going to move it out of the way so then we can do our forging on this side and then flip it around and do our forging on this side. Alright, throw her back in, finish our bend there, and then get started on drawing them out. They're out. Almost there. I'll just draw her out a little bit more, and then we'll hop over and do the other one. Now let's finish taping her up here. Bend in the way, it just kind of gets in the way. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do one more heat, thin this up here a little bit more, and then go over it all again, clean it up, and then we'll bend this one out of the way next, and then we'll forge this side. Thinning this out a bit more here. That's what we're looking for. Now we're going to bend this one out of the way. Then, next heat, we're going to straighten up this one and start doing the same thing with it. Finish bending this out of the way. And then we're going to straighten this one up. We got just enough heat to get started. It tends to go a little bit faster because you already got like the how to fit everything together on the anvil versus the first one we were trying to figure out how to do it all with the convenience bend in it. So most of the time the first one kind of takes a little longer and the second one goes pretty quickly. Alright, let's keep drawing her out here. Here, start working out here this way a little bit more. Then we'll define the tip like we did on the other one. The next thing we're going to do after that is flatten them out and open it up so we can make the heart. Alright, gotta work on finishing this up a bit. Alright, they're about the same length, so I'm happy with that. Might be a little enough feet left in this to straighten her out. Yeah, there it is. Cool. Straighten and flatten everything out a bit more. This side would draw out the tip a little bit more to match this side. That's really all we got to do. So we can do that on the horn real quick, so that we don't got to open them back up. Just finish drawing it out so it matches our other one here. There we go. Nice and even. Next thing we're going to do is get a nice heat here, here, and then we're going to try to open it up a bit. Now we can do that probably just on the horn here. Tap it down on the horn, or the tines on the horn there. We're just going to use the horn to help us spread this open. Now, next thing we got to do is shape the heart around the horn. We're not going to get it super closed up tight, because what we're going to do is, once we get the general shape put in, we're going to go ahead and put a bevel on the outside edge of it, and that'll help it curl up and tighten a little bit more and give a nice look to it. For this, that way I have a little bit more control about what's going on here. Just start rounding it over. Open this side up a bit more. Right like that, looks pretty good. Alright, now we're going to start ahead and bend it in the other side. Take that little bit of a twist out of it. Alright, we're getting there. Just finish up this side here, and then we'll start the bevel. This one here a little bit more. Open it up some. Almost get in there. There's our tips in a bit tighter there. That one's a little too tight. Got to open it up a bit. Now you can make a jig for making these hearts. That way they come just quicker and they come out a lot simpler or nicer and clean without any kinks or whatever. But I personally don't really care to use too many jigs because of the fact I want to be able to make the right sizes and matching things at the anvil first. Well, I can pretty well for the most part, but I want to be able to be very proficient and fast at doing it at the anvil, and then maybe at some point if I have to make a lot of something all at once, I'll probably make a jig. But for doing, I only make these every once in a while, so I don't really have a need to make a jig for it. So take that as what you will. Use a jig, don't use a jig. If you don't use jigs, it helps you build your skills in hammer control a lot. Alright guys, let's get on to the next heat. Alright guys, so I thought I pressed record, but apparently I was recording the whole time and then I stopped recording between these two heats. So, between this one heat. So, I'll tell you what I did real quick. I just opened up the one side, like I said I was going to, which really was just me putting it on the horn and tapping it till it got to where it needs to be. Now I'm going to take the next heat here, straighten up any kinks or twists I got going on in the bar, and then the next heat after that I'll start doing the bevels. Alright, now you're back up to speed. We're going to be straightening up everything here, cleaning everything up, getting all these kinks and bends out, and hammer marks. I'm not going to worry too much about the hammer marks right now. Get that one in to match that one a little bit better. Got a slight bend in the bar. Looking straight that way, not so straight right there. That's a hammer mark, not a bend. Alright. Now everything's fairly straight. Now next heat what we're going to do here is start beveling. We're going to start right here and just start beveling the edges all the way around. Okay. We're going to start the beveling. What you're going to want to do is just hit with the hammer at an angle. That'll start to form your bevels. Beveling the other side here. Curled like that. I'll heat it up. I'll take a pair of pliers and I'll squeeze them so they're straight. But besides that, just do a little peening to clean up your bevels a bit more if you need to. And then they're pretty much done, like the heart part's done. Next thing we gotta do is, like I said, fix that up. You could leave it if you want to, it does kind of look cool. But all of my other ones I have them straight, so I'm just going to make it to match. Now, next, after we do that, is we're going to spin it around and make our fishtail on the back. Alright. What we do, we take our pliers here, or your tongs, whatever you got, and squeeze them straight. Now if you can get the very tips together, it looks a lot better, but that's pretty good. Now next thing we're going to be doing here is working on our fishtail. So how we're going to do that, work on drawing this out so we get a nice fish lip going. Pretty good. Now we'll just draw these out to a nice decent size here. That going, we kind of did a little bevel with it. And now we're going to switch over to the other side and do the same thing over here. And then we're just going to make them grow. Just cleaning up our fishtail here a little bit. Knocking these edges back a little bit more. Bring our bevel down a little farther. Both sides. That looks pretty good. Alright, so that's how we make the general shape. Now what we're going to go ahead and do here is add in our ball peen texture. What all we do with that, we heat it up a couple times, take the ball peen and use the peen to put all those little dents and texture it in like that. Alright, so throw it in for that. Got a nice heat on it. Using the ball end of our ball peen, just start laying in some texture. Is center punch where we want our holes, and then start drilling everything out. Then after that, it goes to assembly, and that'll be the end of this video. Alright guys, it's all cooled off. Our backing plate there's our heart and our fishtail. Next thing we're going to do is center punch some holes where we want them.
That'll help the drill bit not wander so much when I forget to use this. And then put one right there. It's got quite a ring to it, doesn't it?
All center punched. 1, 2, 3. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a 7/32 drill bit on the top and bottom hole, and then a 1/4 inch hole right there in the middle for our hook. Alright, let's drill our 7/32 hole. Alright, now let's see how well our tenon slides into our hole here. Pretty well. Yep, see there? Our tenon goes through. A quick preview of what it'll look like when she's all done. Alright? So, we got our backing strip done, we got our hook done. That's it for this video. The next one we will do assembling, where we will actually clean up our tenon a little bit so it fits a little better. And then we will cut the tenon down and pin it back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I have my subscribe button here. I'll have a link to the first video of this down below it. I'll have a link to the guillotine tool here. And then I'll have a link to the chop saw down here in the bottom. Alright guys, thanks for watching.